climate change was also absent from Treasurer Scott Morrison's budget speech, save for a mention that Australia would maintain our responsible and achievable emissions reduction target at 26 to 28% versus 2005 levels by 2030, and not the 45% demanded by the opposition. Labour's climate spokesman Mark Butler said the government's climate and energy policies were nothing short of a disgrace, and that Australia's emissions will keep rising all the way to 2030. This budget delivers zero new policies or funding to drive down pollution and combat climate change, Mark Butler, Labour's climate spokesman, said. They are not even continuing their wasteful direct action program, he said, referring to the ERF. Josh Frydenberg, Environment and Energy Minister, said Australia had a strong suite of policies in place to meet our international targets, including the phase-down of hydrofluorocarbons, the ERF, the Renewable Energy Target and the National Energy Productivity Plan to deliver a 40% improvement by 2030. The government is also committed to the implementation of the National Energy Guarantee for a more affordable, reliable and sustainable energy system. The onus to find fresh sources for emission cuts has increased, given the government's insistence that the electricity sector, accounting for about one-third of total carbon pollution, should only meet a 26% reduction out to 2030. The electricity sector accounts for about a third of Australia's greenhouse gases. That target, embedded in its signature National Energy Guarantee, is considered to be unnecessarily low even by major electricity companies because of the availability of increasingly competitive renewable sources of power. To reach our Paris goals, we're going to need to see considerable investment elsewhere in the economy, Mr. Baxter said. This budget has done nothing to provide for that. Under Paris, Australia has agreed to reach net zero emissions by the second half of this century as part of the international pact to avert dangerous global warming. There are certain areas of our emissions that will be considerably more difficult to deal with, whether it's fugitives or transport, Mr. Baxter said. We don't actually have a roadmap to getting to zero in those sectors of the economy. Most of the ERF money has been allocated, with much of it going to the rural sector to encourage carbon sequestration in vegetation and soils. Large-scale land clearing in Queensland and an increase in NSW will most likely have increased emissions from the land in recent groups, the Queensland government and environmental groups say. The largest environmental spending item in the budget appears to be $535.9 million to secure the future of the World Heritage-listed Great Barrier Reef and the jobs it supports, the budget papers said. The spending, which includes $443.8 million to enter into a tight partnership fund with the Great Barrier Reef Foundation, is aimed at improving the reef's resilience, such as improving water quality. Dealing with the effects of climate change, though, was not stated as a target for the funds.